Right now at noon, we're tracking alert days in the forecast with more snow and cold on the way. Plus, overnight homicide, what we know about a deadly shooting on Madison's east side. And we're looking ahead to the weekend, a 5K run walk, how you can brave the cold for raising money for a good cause. This is News 3 Now at noon. Thanks for joining us on a Friday afternoon. I'm Josh Breiter. We start with our alert day coverage as the snow is on the way later this afternoon. First Warn meteorologist Savannah Brito has your certified most accurate forecast. She's out on the weather patio. We're just waiting for those flakes, Savannah.
I know, Josh. We're talking about more snow in the forecast, not until later in the day. So if you have plans, at least over the next couple of hours, should be good. The roads are clear from Wednesday's light snow. This snow is going to be some heavy snow, and I think that'll arrive about 4 p.m. west of Madison, with that increasing in coverage from the west to the east. So for Madison, we're looking at about 5 p.m. and then that peaking about 6, 7, 8. So prime dinner hours, with it being Valentine's Day, and with the heavy wet snow, about 3 to 6 inches in accumulation. We are going with alert day conditions. Again, not right now, but later in the day. After 10 p.m., I still think we're going to see some accumulating snow all across southern Wisconsin. There could be areas that see localized higher amounts. We're looking at 7, maybe 8 inches, and that's really along I-94 and northward, where that heavier snow band is going to set up. Alert day conditions are going to continue into Saturday, though. Because of the light snow, we could see redevelopment and a second band of snow on the edge of that system as it sort of moves out of here. That would be later in the morning Saturday into the afternoon. Some minor additional accumulations we would be looking at basically north of Madison if that redevelopment were to happen, and chances are good that that will happen. Most of even the state of Wisconsin is included in a winter weather advisory. That for us across southern Wisconsin, that'll go into effect at 4 p.m. late afternoon and then run all the way until 6 a.m. Saturday. We'll show a timeline, also talk about the greatest impacts and specific totals on your area. That's all coming up a little later. Josh.
Winter is sticking around, Savannah.
I know. I mean, all the snow lovers are happy. I just don't like the cold that's to come after it.
Yeah, that's going to be some nasty stuff.
Yes.
All right, we'll see you for your full forecast in just a few minutes.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you. Well, right now, one person is dead and another injured following a shooting on Madison's east side. It happened on North Thompson Drive overnight. That's where we find our Ellie LaLiberte live this afternoon with the new developments. Ellie, what do we know so far?
Yeah, Josh, well, no arrests have been made at this time. Police say they responded to the shots fired call at this parking lot at around 10 p.m. last night. That's where they found one person suffering from life-threatening injuries who later died because of those wounds. They also say they contacted a person with gunshot wounds at a hospital shortly thereafter. Now, right now, officials say there's no known threat to the public. However, I did talk to some area residents who tell me this is not the first time they've seen violence in their neighborhood. However, this is the first homicide of the year. Detectives were out late last night investigating, and officials tell me they reconvened around 10 a.m. to continue that investigation. We are expecting to hear from them at around 2 p.m. at a press conference today, so of course I'll keep you updated as new details continue to come out. Madison area Crime Stoppers are asking anyone with information to contact them, but for now, reporting live on Madison's east side, Ellie LaLiberte, News 3 Now.
And we'll be streaming that news conference live on Channel 3000 Plus this afternoon. Ellie, thank you very much. The search for Dane County's next Human Services Director is back on. County Executive Melissa Agard and Board Chair Patrick Miles announced the reopening of the online application portal after finalist Amy Everett withdrew from the role last week. Agard says the county is moving quickly to find the right leader for its largest department, which provides essential services to residents. Candidates can apply through the county's executive search firm, with the first review set for February 27th. Applications will be accepted until the position is filled. A Milwaukee Public School District audit finds what's being described as a culture resistant to change. Governor Evers ordered the audit last year. That's after the school district failed to submit financial reports. Auditors say they found critical issues stemming from staff turnover, fragmented planning, and outdated systems. Governor Evers is proposing $5 million be spent to address future audit results from the district. A total of 29 recommendations were made to fix these issues. Tests find yet another public school in Wisconsin with hazardous lead levels, this time Kegel Elementary in Milwaukee. The Milwaukee Health Department says MPS has 5 days to remove a significant amount of lead. Otherwise, they'll start working to close the school. The health department started testing because students were getting sick. Another school will be tested tomorrow, a fourth when staffing allows. Roughly 180 Milwaukee public school buildings were built when lead paint was used. Looking ahead now to the weekend, Sun Prairie West High School will be hosting a February Frost 5K. This is a fundraiser supporting Alzheimer's awareness. The school's Future Business Leaders of America is putting it on. It's part of a nationwide community service challenge. All funds will go towards the Alzheimer's Association. Sun Prairie West's FBLA president says events like these are about making a positive impact on the community.
I learned not only how many people it affects across the country, but also how it affects their families, their caregivers. And so I really just wanted to do something to give back to the people affected by this disease.
The run is this Sunday morning, February 16th from 9 to 11. Just meet in the Sun Prairie West High School gym. It is $35 to register, which you can do the day of, starting at 8:30. You can also register online. Just visit this story at channel3000.com for a link. On the Health Watch this afternoon, a JAMA Medical Journal study says that baby deaths are up due to abortion bans in some states. In places where abortion bans went into effect, child deaths rose nearly 6%. Researchers say their findings suggest more women are being forced to continue with their pregnancies despite a terminal diagnosis for their babies. It's not just all-out bans either. Doctors say restrictions force the continuation of high-risk pregnancies. Right now, abortion is banned in Wisconsin after 21 weeks, with some exceptions. That law got reinstated after a Dane County judge ruled the state's pre-Civil War ban only applied to feticide. The all-out abortion ban was the law in Wisconsin for more than a year after the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe in 2022. The state Supreme Court has heard arguments on which ban will actually be the law in Wisconsin. They've yet to release a ruling. Blood testing of some veterinarians suggests bird flu may be spreading more widely than testing is currently capturing. Testing found some vets were exposed to bird flu even though they did not treat animals known to be infected. The new study is one of 2 on bird flu that were delayed by federal action. The Trump administration issued a pause on outside communications from federal health agencies last month. The other study still hasn't been released. Since last March, there have been 68 confirmed H5N1 infections in humans. All but 3 have had known exposures to animals. The city of Monona is placing a ban on new vape shops opening near parks and schools. That's effective today. Our Maddie Himes shows us why city officials say there's even more to be done.
This map shows us what the new restrictions look like in practice. The green represents parks and schools, and the red, existing vape shops in Monona. It's the 750-foot radius around those spots that any new shops are barred from.
Hopefully it helps, prevent some kids who really don't need to be involved in this from getting involved.
City Administrator Neil Steck-Schulte says it was concerns around e-cigarette use among youth that originally sparked talk of more oversight of vape shops. That led to a 180-day moratorium in the spring and eventually the new zoning code ordinance.
Really took that time during the moratorium to kind of examine really some of the science behind it, some of the health impacts.
Those health impacts, according to the CDC, e-cigarettes and chemicals in them are linked to cancer, lung disease, and stunted adolescent brain development.
Primary concern has always been, impacts to youth.
That's why city officials say keeping the retailers out of walking distance from schools and parks is critical. But what about those already established shops in close proximity?
They're grandfathered essentially. But they are used as part of the buffer. That another one, the 750 feet, has to be from other existing shops.
Monona officials modeled the ordinance after similar ones already in place in Madison and Milwaukee.
I would be shocked if more and more communities didn't pursue this going forward.
Steck-Schulte says the city council will likely reevaluate the ordinance down the line, possibly strengthening the regulations.
That's Maddie Himes reporting. The Monona City Council passed the ordinance in a vote of 3-2. The council members that did not vote in favor say they want even stricter mandates. Well, it is School Crossing Guard Recognition Week in Madison. The city is honoring its 63 dedicated crossing guards who brave the harsh winter conditions to keep children safe on their way to school. City officials encourage the community to show appreciation, whether with a friendly wave or by practicing safe driving near school zones. That means slowing down, stopping for guards, and staying alert. If you're interested in joining their team, visit the city's website. Well, let's take a live look at American Family Field this afternoon, where tickets are now available for the 2025 baseball season. A special opening day package for the March 31st matchup against the Royals includes a t-shirt, but only 5,000 are available. The Brewers are also bringing back community nights, including Pride Night on June 12th. Plus, fans can also enjoy ticket discounts with Wisconsin First Fridays, Kids Senior Days, and Miller High Life Mondays. Grab your seats now. Well, it is officially time for the Spirit of Service campaign as we look to honor our local veterans making a positive impact in the community. News 3 Now is partnering with Vortex and giving back to veterans. All you have to do is log on to channel3000.com and nominate a veteran in your life doing something good. Over the coming weeks, we'll be sharing their stories, and you'll get to vote and choose which veteran gets to take home a $5,000 cash prize. A winner will be announced in early April. Still ahead for us on a Friday afternoon, how much Americans plan to spend for Valentine's Day, plus the recall alert on a popular brand of rolling coolers.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon. Moving forward.
TikTok is back in the Apple and Google app stores. The popular video sharing platform was restored after Bloomberg reported that Attorney General Pam Bondi would not enforce a law banning TikTok unless it divests from Chinese parent company ByteDance. U.S. officials had feared that the Chinese government could use the app to spy on Americans. Yesterday, President Trump expressed hopes that TikTok's U.S. business will be sold. More than 1 million Igloo brand 90-quart flip and tow rolling coolers have been recalled after reports of a dozen fingertip injuries, including amputations and bone fractures. The coolers were sold by several major retailers, including Amazon, Costco, Target, and Dick's Sporting Goods. Owners should stop using the coolers immediately and contact Igloo for a free replacement handle. And Americans are expected to spend a record $27.5 billion celebrating Valentine's Day today, with the bulk of that money going towards gifts like candy, flowers, and greeting cards, as well as an evening out. Multiple national restaurant chains are offering buy one, get one free specials today through their apps for deal lovers, including Burger King, Panera Bread, Shake Shack, and Subway, just to name a few. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Carissa Lawson.
Here's the stock report at the noon hour on this Friday afternoon. The Dow is down 116 points, NASDAQ up 45, and the S&P 500 up 1. Our call for action volunteers are in the building taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. You can call for action at 608-270-2833 or submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call-for-action. We have your farm numbers straight ahead along with the first warn forecast. Then later on live at 4, we'll continue our alert day coverage of the incoming snow, followed by extreme cold. Pam Yankee is out of the radio barn today, so here are your farm numbers. Now to your first warn forecast with meteorologist Savannah Brito. Hi, Savannah.
Hi, Josh. Thank you. We're tracking more snow that's going to move in later in the day. We had a bitterly cold start to our morning, and those temperatures and wind chills weren't even as low as what we're going to see Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and into Wednesday. But enjoy the mild temperatures for now. We at least will be near normal heading into the afternoon, lower to mid-20s, and then temperatures are actually going to stay pretty stagnant. It's not going to get cold tonight, but then what's to come after that, we're really going to see temperatures drop. Snow eventually moves in. Right now we're seeing a light band of snow move in north of Wisconsin Dells, kind of just near that area. That's not really necessarily going to stick. The heavier of the snow, that's all west of the area right now in portions of Iowa. That's the snow we're going to see later in the day that, yes, will be leading to additional accumulating snow. About 3 to 6 inches can be expected. So your alert day conditions, not yet, but later in the day, mid to late afternoon, that's when we're going to see those conditions return all across southern Wisconsin. That'll actually continue into Saturday. We're watching for redevelopment with a second band of snow as the band moves out. There could be a little bit of redevelopment on that backside. We'll talk about that in a minute. But before 4 p.m., light snow starting. That's mainly north of Wisconsin Dells and the main system west of here right now. A winter weather advisory is going to go into effect for all of southern Wisconsin and actually most of the state of Wisconsin at 4 p.m. late afternoon. That'll continue then until 6 in the morning on Saturday. Our greatest impacts are going to be between that 4 p.m. and 10 p.m. time frame, late afternoon, and then continue through the evening. That's when we could see intense snowfall rates about 1 inch per hour. That's mainly going to be along I-94 and then northward. That's where our highest totals are going to be. 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. light to moderate snow is going to continue, and even into Saturday morning after that 6 a.m. time frame, I still think we'll see lighter snow persist across southern Wisconsin, definitely north of Madison. So there is high confidence in that snow that we're going to see late this afternoon and into tonight. Evening commute definitely will be impacted, so if you have dinner plans with it being Valentine's Day, plan on allowing extra time to get there and especially to return home. 2 to 5 inches is expected across most of southern Wisconsin, but again, we could see areas that see slightly higher amounts, and that would mainly be if we're able to see that redevelopment into Saturday. There is increase in confidence that we do see that, tracking a 6-inch plus swath of snow, and again, that's stretching basically I-94 and northward that we see that redevelopment. We'll show that on future tracks. So we're dry the next couple of hours for the most part. And then that snow is going to move in. This is 4:30 west of Madison. This is pretty much exactly what it looked like. Little to no change at all from what we had this morning. That'll increase in intensity and coverage, both of those reducing visibility, and also some impacts that we're going to see as slick spots and hazardous travel for those evening and early nighttime commutes. I still think we're going to see some snow and travel impacts linger even into Saturday. That continuing through the early overnight hours. This is now 2:30 in the morning. Might see a break for areas south of Madison like Monroe, Janesville, Waukesha, Kenosha, but Madison and northward probably going to continue to see that light to moderate snow continue even into those early nighttime hours. And then the redevelopment that we could see, that would be later in the morning and then into the afternoon. Saturday afternoon into the evening, and Sunday, this wouldn't necessarily be any additional accumulations at that point in time. 3 to 6 inches for the most part, but Madison and northern Dane County and then northward, those areas could see that 6, 7, 8-inch band. And again, that's if we see that redevelopment, with which I do think that there is a good chance we see that. And then Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, the alert days because of the bitter cold. And look at those lows, Josh.
Yikes, I don't want to.
I just want to skip that.
I like the snow, I just don't like the cold.
The snow's fine. We live in Wisconsin, but when you're 30, 40 degrees below average, and that's without the wind chills we're going to see, it's awful.
Think spring, Savannah.
Yeah, it's just around the corner. Meteorological spring starts in 2 weeks, so.
Positive thinking.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Howard is celebrating this special day in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
It's Valentine's Day, and we've got something sweet for you to share with your someone special. Stick around. Happy Valentine's Day. You did remember, didn't you? For those of you who forgot, there's no reason to run out the door in hopes of finding the perfect candy for your sweetheart. We've got a recipe for salted caramel toffee that's just a thing your sweetheart is gonna love. They won't even think you almost forgot. Watch how easy. We line a baking pan with parchment paper and cover it with broken pretzel pieces. We set that aside and bring some butter and brown sugar to a boil. While it's simmering, do not stir it. After about 3 minutes, pour it over the pretzels and bake it off. Be careful, this is going to be molten hot. After it bakes, sprinkle on some chocolate chips, and once they're melted, spread them over the toffee base. A little sea salt goes over this, and we let it cool. Now we break it into pieces and wrap it up for that someone special, or bring the whole thing to work or to your neighbor's house and let everyone dig in. If homemade candy doesn't say I love you, what does? To get the recipe for our salted chocolate pretzel toffee, all you have to do is hop on our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a romantic homemade way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Maybe a good night to hunker in for Valentine's Day, Savannah.
Yeah, definitely going to be the case because it'll be cooler and we're tracking that snow falling. The greatest impacts between 4 and 10 p.m. and then it gets really, really cold. 4 for your high Monday. Brutally cold and dangerous. Stay indoors if you can.
All right, Savannah, thank you. Thanks for joining us. More coverage live at 4.